Today's video blog is a very powerful trial balance. I'm preparing it sitting on the back porch of my hotel in Mexico at the auditors conference, and so sort of auditors are on my mind, and this is a trial balance report to help really show all of the accounts in a very disciplined sort of way. The value of this, of course, is that for controllers or auditors is to have a place where all the accounts are summarized and a very easy way to drill down into the underlying transactions behind the accounts. I think you'll find this is very cool. I hope you enjoy using this in your work, and it is a blessing to you. Greetings. I am again recording this sitting on the back porch of my hotel room in tropical Mexico, so you can enjoy the sound of the birds, and occasionally you'll hear the housekeeping staff or other hotel guests talking in the background. That is fine. This trial balance project is a very interesting project. In my position at Mission College, every morning I would come in and open the worksheet that we're about to build. It's an easy way to get to all of your data, all of your transactions in the accounting system. The really important thing here is I think it is also will be a very valuable tool for auditors that are watching these videos. And naturally, I'm making this sort of with the auditors in mind. I'm at the auditors conference, and one of the things they need is an easy way to get the information they need for their caseware, their case software, and also a way that they can easily drill down on the different items in the different data items to look at the underlying transactions of every account. And so this is a really great project that I hope you enjoy. The first thing that we need to do, you are just going to have to sort of follow along and practice what you learn. I don't believe there's too many new things here, but this will give you a chance to practice and copy, and then when you see the report we make, I think you'll find this is very powerful. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is to get the title of the organization up here. Oh, excuse me, not the first thing. That's not the first thing. The first thing we need is some prompts. I happen to know exactly what prompts we need, so I'm just going to build them real fast. And you can watch. I need the standards that we always need. We need the business unit, and enter the business unit. Okay, the value here, we could put ZAD. If you wanted to go to the extra effort to make it a reference type business unit, you could, but right now we're just going to use this. That's the way I would typically do it. We need to add a current year. Remember, the codes can't have any breaks. Current year. Rather, I think I'll change that to enter the current year. Okay, and we put in any placeholder range here, 208, 8001 to 200812. And I think in reflection, I think I am going to change the name of this to current year to date. While the auditors will be interested in a full calendar year, most of our users will want to use this for a specific period. And so we can actually put in something a little bit different than a calendar year. And I think that looks pretty good. And then the next one, and the third one we need, and the last, we only need 3. It's not obvious now when we need it, but we need the end last year. Okay. Enter the ending period of last year. Okay. And so if our prompt default here was 2008, our default value for this would be 2007012. Alright, and so now we have what we need. This last one is less obvious why we need it, but you don't know exactly what we're building, so it will come out. Alright, we need to develop a title for the organization that we're doing this for. So we'll put a query right here in A1. We're putting the heading zone, and this is going to be I'd say a reference link might be good. The title, we're pulling up 1 bit of static data. The business unit that we are basing this thing on, we want it to pull from this prompt, so not always be ZAD. And the table we want to use here is static data. Remember, we're looking for the name of the organization, so we'll get the business unit there. Okay, and then it asks again for the business unit. I don't know why. You can go ask your mom. Okay, and so this is basically just pulled in the business unit table, and what we want put in the output is the description. So we'll do that baby right like that. Okay, and then we'll put in the title, and this is trial balance. And then we need to put in the date that we're running it. And right now we're just going to make this hard-coded, so it has to be changed every time you run it. Later on, just keep watching the videos, I will show you how to make this automatic, so it automatically determines the right date heading depending on what you put in right there, up there in the ending of the current year to date. But as of, let's put in May 31st, 2009. That's what we are headed toward for just today's run. So what we're going to do here is have a trial balance coming right down here of all the counts, coming down to 0 at the end. And so we are going to do this by writing one query somewhere about there, and then copying it down all the way down. So we're going to build this query based on references over in here. Someone may be interested in having all of this centered. Let's see if I can get this centered. So I highlighted that. Okay, and we'll do the cells alignment. And I botch this up about half the time, so we'll see. Center across the cell. We'll go okay. Alright, we'll put a little line in here to make it look really nice. Okay, and so as I was saying, we are going to build down here the account balances. But now this is a little bit different than you may be expecting in a trial balance. We're in a normal trial balance, we list every account all the way down, and then they come down to 0 and then. But that is not what we're doing here. We're going to do this in a summary fashion. Don't worry, we're going to get what you want in the end, but in a little bit more manageable way than just having pages and pages of accounts that come down to 0 at the end. Okay, Babcock University has 5,000 student accounts. You don't want all of those listed. Many places would have, well, Babcock University has over 1,000 employees, ER employee accounts. You wouldn't want all those just listed straight out. very unmanageable. So we're going to do this in a summary way first, and then look at how we'll break it out into the details. And so this cell here that we will do is going to look over here to the accounts that it needs to pick up. So let's start off. Maybe we will do it this way. It might be best. We'll call it the first grouping of accounts will be numbered asset accounts. Okay, let's just do it this way. And then we have, maybe we'll skip a line between them, numbered liability accounts. Now the cool thing here, and one very valuable part of this project, is to really help you understand the account structure within SunPlus. And so we have the numbered asset accounts, numbered liability accounts, and then we have the lettered accounts. Remember, a lettered account can be either an asset or a liability depending on its balances. For example, at Mission College, the total of all the student accounts was actually a liability to the organization, to the college, because of the advanced deposits students had to make when they came, the advance payments. So a student coming to Thailand from India, for example, had to show up at the beginning of the semester with the full year's worth of money. And so for a good part of the year, the college owed students in the aggregate. But when you drill down on it and separated it out, there were many that had debit balances in their accounts and many that had credit balances in their account. And so we put them all together here in lettered accounts. And so we are going to put the accounts, lettered accounts A, B, C, D, and I'm not sure I have them all memorized, but let me see how good I can do them. I have to look on some sort of sheet or something. But the A accounts are organizations. Okay. B accounts is unused as a type. Okay. I'm going to explain why I even wrote it down. Your first thought would be, why does he even bother writing it down? We'll explain that. C accounts are supplier accounts. And D accounts are unused. E accounts are employee accounts. Okay. And I believe that F is unused. And so this would be F. And the next one that I know of is student accounts. Are S accounts. Okay, and so unused. Okay, now so let's fill in a little detail here. B are unused, D are unused, F is unused, and this would be F to let's see, R, the letter right before S. Okay, and then T to Z. Now the reason I'm including these on the report is that if you happen to use this report at a place where they have started using some of these unused accounts, you want to automatically pick those up. So suppose some organizations started having T accounts for travel accounts, or you know, R accounts for retirees. You want to know at least something's happened. So in order to make sure our trial balance balances, it may populate these figures, and then you have to dig in and find out exactly what's going on with the ones that are hidden. Okay, so continuing down our logic, okay, of our trial balance, we're going to have a figure on our trial balance that would be the balance from the oldie accounting system. That would be the previous accounting system prior to SunPlus. We will explain that when I'm populating that. And then we need prior years income and expense accounts. I started to call it net income, but I can play by the rules. Okay, then we're going to have revenue, and we will have expenses, and we have transfers. So that is the entire gamut of the no, Sophie, I did not say damn it. I said gamut. That is the entire gamut of all of the accounts that we have on our chart of accounts. The numbered accounts, okay, I think you could follow this. The numbered accounts are 1 to 1 ZZZZZZ. And we don't want decimal places. So what we'll do is we'll just come right down here. We'll format this right away as not having decimal places. Okay, so when we do this on all the rest, we don't have to worry about the decimal places showing. Liability account. Oh, excuse me, my mistake. The numbered accounts, balance sheet accounts, run from 1 to 2 ZZZ. And the liability accounts are 4 ZZZ. I'll fix the formatting all at the end. Okay. Lettered accounts, so we want all the A to AZZZ to pick up all of the organizations. And we'll put B to BZZZ. This will pick up any accounts that they happen to add to their trial balance that Sun System doesn't know about, you don't know about. So it would pick up any B accounts and C accounts, all the supplier accounts. D to DZZZZZ. And the employee accounts is E to EZZZZZ. And if they should happen to start using any accounts, start with an F, or any accounts with any other letters all the way through to ZR, this one will pick it up. We want student accounts to SZZZ, and then if they were to start using any accounts that start with T to ZZZZZ, we want to pick them up, and we want to know about it. And only way we'll know about it is if we include them in our trial balance, at least provide for them in the trial balance. And so the trial balance account, the retained earning accounts are all 5,000. Okay, let me not do it that way. Let's put 5. They start with a 5 to run to, excuse me, I messed that up. Okay, right click there and delete that cell. Okay, I'm trying to clear the contents of it. Alright, I'm going to try it one more time. Right click. Alright, brother. An enemy has done this. Edit, clear contents. Alright, well, I'll leave it there. Okay, you don't need it there. I need it to be in this column. 5 to 5ZZZ. And income statement accounts, and prior year income statement accounts will be 6 to 9 ZZZZZZ. That picks up income, expense, and transfer accounts. And then revenue, this year's revenue is 6 to 7 ZZZZZ. Expenses are 9 to 9 8 ZZZ, and then 9 8 to 9 9 ZZZZZ. Okay, and Okay, here I have a small error because this would be an overlapping. You see, that would not be right. So this would be the 99s are the transfer accounts. So expenses run from 8 to 98ZZZ and transfers from 99 to 99ZZZ. Okay, and to get this formatting right, so like I like it, I'm going to go up here and write format, write justify, and reduce all the decimal places out. Okay, cool, huh? Alright, so now we are going to write a query that picks up these account ranges for these dates for this business unit. So it's a very easy little query to write. We're experts at it at this point, and so we'll double click on F7, and this is going to be a summary link. Okay, the business unit, I've clicked right on the business unit. I've got that highlighted. I come right up here and click, so it picks up the reference. Okay, the table is our good old standard ledger where all the transactions are. Remember, we're writing the query for cell F7. Okay, F7 needs to be picking up from actual. We want to actual data in here. We could make this more elaborate so it brought up budget, or we could make it 2-columned where it brought up budget to actual, or make it 2-column where it brought up last year and this year. You can do what you want. That's the beauty of learning how to do this. The account code that we want to use is there. Okay, this was trying to be helpful, so it populated it, but that's not what we want there. We want D7 to E7. Okay, is our range for our account code, and our accounting period. Okay, now this is where we need to slow down here. Alright, now this is a balance sheet account, and what we want is the balance of the balance sheet account. So we want to pick up all of the transactions from the beginning. Okay, not the beginning of time, just the beginning of the Adventist Church, from the beginning of the organization. And so we know that no Adventist organization was started prior to 1844. And if you're really, just relax. If you're too bothered by me using that, we just want a date that goes far enough back prior to the Sun implementation. And so we go, and then we're going to put in this date right here to capture our balance sheet balance. So let's pause and reflect about that a minute. A balance of a balance sheet account is all of the transactions from the beginning all the way to the balance sheet date. Okay, and we want the base amount. And so we go okay. Alright, and so we have that. That's a balance sheet account for picking up the numbered asset accounts. So I'm going to now right click that baby, copy, and then paste, and then I'm going to, let's see if I can just paste it all the way down here. Okay, I need this, all of these are balance sheet accounts, and we'll paste that there. Okay, I don't need it here, and I didn't. Okay, alright, I'm going to go get this cell right here. Okay, and get rid of that. And I didn't exactly explain this. This would be down here, this section right down here is calculating the end of last year's fund balance is what this is going to be. Okay, so all of these are balance sheet accounts, and and we have now picked up all of those balance sheet accounts, the summary. They're not balance sheet accounts, but they are groupings of balance sheet accounts that we've picked up as of the balance sheet date. And the balance from the old system is brought in as of the balance sheet date, bringing in any transactions to the 5,000s. We call this the balance from the old systems, but it's conceivable that they would be prior period adjustments in there as well. And for sure, organizations may have incorrectly and erroneously posted entries in there, but for our trial balance we need to capture that, and so that's why they're included here. So now I'm going to take this. Now we're moving to income statement accounts for prior years, and income statements accounts for the current year. And so we'll pick this total up again. Our basic query is going to be the same. Okay, we'll paste this. Okay, but the problem with this one is the date. So let me open that query and we'll study it out. It's picking up the business unit by reference to the prompt, and it's picking up the account codes correctly, but it's picking up all of the transactions up to the balance sheet date. And we want only the transactions on this figure here for up through the end of last year, and that's why we put that prompt in. Okay, remember on your trial balances that include current year and current year revenue and expense, you will have one figure that represents the fund balance as of the end of last year. That's what we're building here. And so now this is picking up all of the revenue and expenses as of the end of last year. Okay, and so here you go. This is the total beginning equity, beginning net assets of the organization. So that's cool. If you think about it, the net assets of an organization are of the total of all the increases are minusing decreases in net assets of all the previous periods, and that is what we've captured here. We've captured this figure representing all the increases in net assets that have occurred since the implementation of Sun, and we've captured this figure representing all of them from previous accounting systems. Okay, so now we'll take this, move on to the regular revenue and expense. We'll copy this again because it's basically right. We'll paste this, and in this case we brought it from the balance sheet calculation. We copied from balance sheet. This is picking up the right business unit and the right account, the correct account, but it is picking up all of the transactions from the beginning of time to the current balance sheet date, and that is not what we need here. We need to pick up from just this year. Okay, and so we'll come up here and we'll click there, and now we're just picking up this year's revenue. We say OK, and we'll right click that and we'll copy this and pick up this year's expenses and pick up this year's transfers. And so I'm going to take this file, save as trial balance project, and I already have one of these saved, so I'm going to call it Dropout Pilot Save 2. You wouldn't need to do that. So now I have this is the summary, and this is the first breakout of that number down. All right, so what we'll do is we'll continue with this all the way down. Okay, and so we'll do the drill down, and now it has that shown for us. We rename this as rename it numbered liability accounts. Okay, I don't think I'm going to put the word account in there every time. Okay, we come back up, and then we drill down on this, and I think you get the idea. Let me do one more. You would do all of them. Okay, do one more. We'll drill down on that, rename it, organization. Okay. Now the beauty of this then is then you can do what you want to. For example, when you hit student accounts, I said 5,000 a minute ago. I think probably Babcock University has 10,000 accounts. They have 5,000 students, maybe 6,000 accounts with the ones that are unpaid and so forth. Employee accounts, so forth. You can include this, and so it basically makes these lettered accounts subsidiary ledgers if you want them to be that, or they can go into your main trial balance when you're building your caseware project. Okay, it's a little bit different. You would not drill down on this, but if the auditor was interested in drilling down on this, I would drill down on this based on posted date as a way to ferret out if they've posted any entries to either of those accounts after the closing of the last audit. And then we need to pay special attention to the drill downs that we do on our revenue expense accounts and transfers, because in these accounts it's a little bit more elaborate. We're not going to just break it out by fund, but we're going to break it out by account code, description, and fund. Where are you? Down here somewhere. There we go, halfway down or so. We see we want them broken out by fund, function, and restriction. Okay, now I do know that in the auditing world, they like to combine these in different orders. Different places in the world I go want the accounts to show in their caseware as fund, function, restriction, and account, and some people want it to be account first, and then fund, function, and I think there's sort of a standard in the accounting manual, but that is something for you to figure out which order you want these to be shown in. But remember, they don't need to be sorted that way. Okay, they can be in, let's say, this order where the account code is last. Okay, and you want the account name to go in. Okay, it's right here. You want them to show in this order because something closer to this matches the accounting manual, but you want it sorted and grouped by the account code. I believe that's what I would like. And so I would get account code up here to be the sort order. And I click OK. And I have the balance of all of my income statement accounts ordered by their account number, but in this arrangement. And so of course this is ready for you to put into the case where if you want one account number, you would copy this, and that combines all of these. Just simply copy and paste this into Excel, insert another column, and use the concatenate function within Excel to combine these 4 cells to come up to a single unified account number. Okay, and so we'll name this one, rename this one income statement accounts. Okay, and just bear with me, let's just do one more. Do expenses. Now you can see my expense drill down is right there. I have a choice. Do I do a balance sheet drill down, or do I do an expense drill down? And then this one was my mistake from the past, and so I would like to get rid of that. So I will edit this and get this last one that's confusing me and delete it. And so now I have a nice tidy one. Okay, and I will call this the let's see, let's come up with a name for this one, and I want to call it income statement account. Okay, I don't know what we need to call these accounts other than that. And then this one would be balance sheet accounts drill down. Okay, so I will close that, and so now when I put my number over one of these things, it will pull down what I need. So I want income statement account drill down. Alright, and so we will name that expense accounts, and I'll say I misnamed this one right here, and that would be not income statement accounts, that's just income accounts, or revenue accounts. Let's do that. Revenue accounts. So now I'm just about done. We'll take this baby and we'll save the drill path. Okay, we'll save this drill path, and we'll call this the, well, let's just use that same name. So we save this drill path, we close, and we save our entire project. So now our project is basically done, but for the fun of it, let's demonstrate how cool this is. So let's go back to design mode. Alright, and we imagine that we are in a new organization, and we put in the business unit, and we're doing our audit as of the end, so we're ready to go. We are going to put in, at this point, we extract it, and we put in the business unit that for the client we're working with, put in the period that we want the trial balance to be as of. Okay, say we're auditing 2009, or we're working with 2009, and this is the correct ending period, end of last year. And so let's extract this, and we extract a drill path. Alright, so I have a trial balance. The first thing I do is I glance down the bottom, make sure I've got 0, and then I have the details of each of my headings right down this, with all of this going all the way through. And that is the high-powered, rational sort of trial balance we want. And before I forget it, you can get to these are the accounts, okay, that we're auditing, and we can then go through and take any of these accounts and look at the underlying transactions by drilling down on them. Okay, That is, as we go through our audit, we want more details. We can drill down on those transactions by saying, okay, I want to see all the transactions in there. We go down, organized by date, journal number, line number, journal type, and you can make up your own. Put out what you exactly want, and we go, okay, and so this is a donation for Mr. Jones. We're doing expense accounts. We've got salaries here on a date here for salaries that have been charged to these different functions. I could take this and say, all right, I want to drill down on this by who, for example. You can drill down and work with this as long as you want. So if your only goal, okay, so that was Marina for that department. Okay, if your only goal was to somehow or another get this out to Caseware, this is, you sort of miss the point. The point is that once I've got this done, I have the basis of managing all of my audit or any other sort of management process that I want to do within the organization. Now, for the controllers that are watching this, your drill downs may be a little bit different. Okay, you could drill down with a different perspective, and you could actually make subgroups. If I were doing this and I was running an organization, I would have my expenses broken down between employee expenses and departmental expenses. At Mission College, I had revenue, a little bit more detailed, granular details here. So I hope that you find this very helpful in your work, and God bless.